A resource often overlooked by students is the specification. This outlines what you need to know, key language, required pracs and assessment weighting, amongst other things. In this video we will have a look at the specification at a glance, the required practicals, and dive into the AQA separate science physics specification. Remember, you can pause the video at any stage because there'll be a lot of information in it. Make sure you're happy with it before moving on. Firstly, we're going to have a look at the specification at a glance. What you can see here is that we have a list of 9 different key areas within the physics syllabus. Energy, electricity, particle model and atomic structure, the first 4 are on paper 1. Forces, waves, magnetism and space physics are on the second paper, and the key ideas are found throughout. There is something else I want to talk to you about with this, but we'll wait until we get into the specification for that. Okay, pause the video now. Make sure you're familiar with that. Make sure that you're familiar with what you've already covered and what you will be covering this year in your final preparation for the GCSE. Here are the required practicals for physics. You can see that there are 10 in total. Ordinarily what you're going to find is that those practicals 1 to 5 are on paper 1, 6 to 10 are going to be on paper 2, and practicals 2 and 9 are unique to the GCSE physics syllabus only, not to the combined science syllabus as well. So they have that in common. You might find in your preparation, looking at past papers, similar questions in there. So again, pause the video here, have a read through, make sure that you are happy with that. Any questions, comments or queries, please let me know in the comments. Right, we'll move on now to having a look at the specification and a bit of a dive in. Here's the link here. It will be linked in the description for this video. Two first things that we're going to look at are the physics equations and the assessment objectives. So if we go across here, scroll, what you'll find is that that should be the same URL that you had in the PowerPoint. And on page 3 you'll find that we've got a list of all the content, and you can click on the information that you want to go to, and you can see here are all the equations that you need to familiarize yourself with. Okay. HT denotes that that is only required for higher tier students. Okay, and please take some time to get familiar with these in your preparation for your GCSE. Right, if we go back to page 3, we will have a quick look at the subject content again, which we've already talked about, but there is a special point I just wanted to make mention of, that in paper 2, okay, it's going to draw on understanding of the energy and electricity topics within that. Okay, so again, you can pause the video at any stage, have a look through that information, or go and have a look at it at the link shown above. Right, assessment objectives. So if we go here, 5.2, click on that, that'll give us our assessment objectives. This is the important bit here. Demonstrate, apply and analyze. Okay, so we've got to demonstrate a knowledge and understanding of these things, apply our understanding, knowledge and understanding here, and then this analysis to make final judgments here. So you can see the weightings 40, 40 and 20 as shown here. And then you can see how the two papers break down. Again, remember, you can pause the video now if you want to have a look at that in more detail. Right, so we've had a look at the assessment outcomes, we've had a look at the equations, we've looked at the subject content in a bit more detail. What else can we have a quick look at that would be useful to you? You can drill down into any of these subject contents, and you can see the content that is listed as a series of points, and that could be a useful thing for you to go through and highlight, you know, which areas you're happy with, which areas you need to spend some time on, and which ones you need a little bit of help with. And remember, you can let me know, and I'm happy to support you with that if you let me know in the comments section. And again, remember, HT's telling us that only is relevant for higher tier students. Right, back to page 3. Right, Working scientifically is definitely worth having a look through, having a look at these, the language and what specifically you need to be able to do. And as is also the mathematical requirements here. This again may be a useful page to print off and have a copy of, or just tick off and make sure that you're happy with all those things. Okay, and seek support if you're not. And the final thing that I want to show you is this key ideas. So if we look here, this could be a useful page for you to draw on your revision from. You can just click on the links here, which will take you to different sections. You can see the key ideas is missing here, but if we go back to page 3, you can see the key ideas is linked here on page 76. I'd pause the video now, have a read through that, make sure you're happy with all of those points. Okay, that pretty much brings this to a close. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, okay, and make sure that you notify yourself for all new videos, okay. And again, once you've subscribed, please feel free to like, share, and add a comment to let me know what you would like me to cover next. Thanks very much. Have a good one.